Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. I have a fun fold card for you today. It's a corner card. I've made it before, but this is just with some new product. In fact, it's from the celebration brochure during the promotion period from 1st July to 31st August 2022. This is the free set of papers and the stamp set with a purchase of £90 before shipping and tax, which you can earn for free. These are the 12 by 12 inch papers that are free. Some of them have got really big flowers which you can cut individually. I've made some cards that I'll show you at the end of the video. Now this one, I used rectangle postage punch to punch out individual flowers. I cut up a whole sheet of paper like that to make little postage stamps, which you can put on the inside of a card instead of stamping. And if you can get a whole one, you can mount them like that and make a card with them like this. The other items I used are charming sentiments and the dies that coordinate with it. I also used my Stamparatus, the garden green ink, because I wanted to stamp it in 2 tones, and I can stamp it more accurately if I use the Stamparatus. The inks I'm using are garden green Orchid Oasis, and also, did I use marker pen? I can't remember, but you need a blending brush as well. The cardstock you need, now I normally just cut my A4 sheet in half, but this has to be fairly precise because of the corner turn down. So 5 3/4 inches by 8 1/4, that's 14.5 by 21 centimeters. So on the long side you score at 4 1/8, that's 10.5 centimeters, and fold it in half. This designer series paper from the Wonderful World I cut at 4 inches by 5 5/8, so that's 10 centimeters by 14 centimeters to go on the front of the card. So let's glue that down. Oh my goodness, the glue wouldn't come out to start with, and then it's come out in this thick blob. I've had to stop the video and go and cut another piece because I completely botched that one up. Now I want to stamp the inside of my card. I'm going to take this off and just stamp it here, just the corner. So now I can glue this to the inside of my card. Oh, the inside is basic white, and it's 5 1/2 by 3 3/4, so that 14 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. So here's my template, and basically you want to cut the inside here. So you want it on the short side with the patterned paper at the top, align it at 3 inches, and you cut from 5/8 inches, 5/8 inches here, and we want to cut down to 3 inches, which is here. Align my blade at 3 inches, make an indentation, and then cut up. Okay, now I'll put my trimmer this side, and I want to rotate my cardstock anti-clockwise. Okay, so now your card is upside down. So align that left edge at 3 inches again, and you cut from 2 3/4, or use that marker on your cutting blade to align with the cut line there, and you cut to 5 1/8 inches. I'm going to align it at 5 1/8. Push the blade down to mark the spot and then cut backwards. So there you go. So that's open. So you're basically turning the card inwards like this. So you want to soften these two areas of your card to make it more malleable, and then turn it back. Now as you turn it back, you want to align this straight edge parallel to the edge of your paper here, and this edge parallel to the edge here. So I'm bending it both ways just to make sure that the lines are creased nicely. Then we want to adhere this flap and anchor it to the front of the card. So just apply a little bit of glue on here. Fold it over, make sure that's bonded. Then you have this square piece to put in here, and this measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So in metric that's 7 centimeters by 7 centimeters. Bring in my stamp apparatus. Actually, I'm going to reposition that, that's too far over. So first I'll ink it up in Orchid Oasis. Then I'm going to take my cleaning cloth and remove the ink on the stems of the leaves. Then stamp. Clean my stamp. Now you can either use the garden green marker, or you can use the garden green ink just to do the stems. If you use the marker, you've got more control. You can just target the areas that you want in the garden green colour. But I like to use the ink pad because the ink is more juicy, I guess. It means I don't have to keep going over it in order to get the same intensity of colour. Clean that off and then stamp. And I'm just going to soften the edges. So bring in a blending brush and just go over the edges so that the brush is half on and half off the paper. I think I might just ink up the flower a little bit and pop it on there to cover it up. That's better. Then on a scrap of basic white, I can stamp the sentiment. There's the die for it from Charming Sentiments, and I shall go and cut that off camera. So the last finishing touch is to glue this onto the base here, and I've already put dimensionals on the word, so we'll just pop that there. And voila, the card is finished. I promised to show you some of the cards I made with those big flowers, so I cut that out, and this is also using the Charming Sentiments rectangular postage stamp punch and the Essentials Baker's Twine. I use the scallop contour dies here, and the sentiment is from Very Best Occasions. This one actually cut it out and matted it onto Mossy Meadow so that it will stand out a bit more. The scalloped edge is from Penned Flowers dies with the scalloped edge. Then this one I used embossing powder, of course, and the Baker's Twine is again from the Basics Essentials. I coloured the rhinestones with a rich raspberry marker, and what else did I do? And the sentiments are from the Sentiments Silhouette dies. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, then do give me a thumbs up, like and share. And as usual, you'll find all the links to the supplies below this video in the Show More section. You can also find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. To read more about this, then you can hop over to my blog, and the link is also below. Thanks for watching. Bye.